Imagine waking up in a $165 million Beverly Hills mansion, boarding your private Gulfstream G650ER, and sailing across the world on a $500 million mega yacht so massive it needed its own support yacht. This is Jeff Bezos' reality. Bezos isn't just wealthy, he's reshaping the future itself. But is this the ultimate success story or something far more unsettling? Let's find out. Humble beginnings to billionaire dominance. Jeff Bezos wasn't born rich, he engineered his way to the top with relentless precision. The son of a teenage mother and a Cuban immigrant stepfather, Bezos wasn't thinking about Nike sneakers or Rolex watches, he was obsessing over NASA, sketching futuristic space colonies, already plotting his escape from mediocrity. While most kids played football, he was devouring Harvard Business Review case studies. While his peers partied, he was decoding Wall Street Journal market trends. Bezos didn't just want success, he wanted domination. Then, in a move that seemed insane, he walked away from a cushy Wall Street career to sell books online. His friends laughed. The world ignored him. But in a tiny garage, at a desk made from an old Home Depot door, Bezos launched Amazon, a company that wouldn't just change shopping, but reprogram human behavior itself. He didn't want to compete, he wanted to own the game. Fast forward to today, Amazon isn't just a retailer, it's an empire. AWS, Amazon Web Services, powers the internet. Whole Foods controls what you eat. Kindle dictates what you read. Ring watches your front door. Alexa listens inside your home. His logistics network is bigger than FedEx and UPS combined. His algorithms decide what millions of people buy, think, and believe. Meanwhile, his workers are packing boxes in warehouses so massive they have their own weather systems, all while he's flying in his Gulfstream G650ER to his $165M Beverly Hills mansion, his $500M mega yacht that's so massive it needed its own separate yacht. And yet Bezos still isn't satisfied. Blue Origin is his next move, the billionaire escape plan, building a future where only the elite can leave Earth while the rest of us fight over gas prices and student debt. Is Bezos creating the future or escaping it? Comment below. $500M real estate empire, homes bigger than cities. Jeff Bezos doesn't buy houses, he acquires empires. While millions of Americans struggle with skyrocketing rent and housing crises, Bezos collects multi-million-dollar estates like casual prime orders. His $165 million Beverly Hills estate isn't just a mansion, it's an architectural throne, outfitted with glass walls, infinity pools, and private gardens that make even Hollywood's elite seem ordinary. But for Bezos, one mansion isn't enough. His Hawaiian beachfront compound, tucked away in paradise, is the ultimate escape, a world free from taxes, regulations, and the Amazon workers whose labor built his fortune. Then there's his $23 million Washington, D.C. command center, a former textile museum converted into a billionaire's war room. It sits just miles from the Capitol, the White House, and the policymakers once determined to break up Amazon. Now, Bezos oversees them not from a boardroom, but from his personal fortress in the heart of American power. His Manhattan penthouse, perched atop a $96 million collection of luxury apartments, dominates the New York skyline. With 360-degree views of Wall Street, Bezos wakes up looking down on the financial capital of the world, literally and figuratively. But his most mysterious move? The Texas land grab no one saw coming. Bezos has secretly purchased thousands of acres across Texas, enough to build a city of his own. Is it a billionaire's private sanctuary? A space launch hub for Blue Origin? A new Silicon Valley built by one man? While everyday Americans fight for affordable housing, Bezos is carving out a kingdom in the Lone Star State. Jeff Bezos' insane car collection, from $5 Supercars to a $2,000 Honda Accord. Most billionaires flaunt their wealth with fleets of Ferraris, Rolls-Royces, and private chauffeurs, but Jeff Bezos? His approach is both baffling and strategic. While he can afford any car on Earth, he once pulled up to Amazon headquarters in a 1997 Honda Accord, a $2,000 relic of middle-class America. Was this a statement of humility, or was the world's richest man playing a deeper game? Fast forward to today, and Bezos' garage tells a different story. Sitting alongside his Rivian R1T, an electric truck backed by Amazon, is a Lamborghini Veneno, a Bugatti Veyron, and a fleet of ultra-exclusive hypercars. The Veneno alone is worth over $5 million, a machine designed to dominate roads the same way Bezos dominates e-commerce. The Bugatti? A symbol of absolute excess, proving that power is measured not in speed but in ownership. Each vehicle isn't just luxury, it's a piece of his empire, a token of the industries he shaped. But here's where things get interesting. Unlike Elon Musk, who famously crashed a McLaren F1, Bezos never embraced the billionaire car guy persona. Even with unimaginable wealth, his focus was never on flaunting, it was on controlling. The Honda Accord wasn't just a car, it was a message. While others flexed, he built. While others raced, he strategized. Now, as Bezos travels the world in a $500 M Super Yacht and a Gulfstream G650 ER, the Honda seems like a forgotten relic. But was it ever real? Was it humility, or just another calculated move in his relentless climb to the top? Inside Jeff Bezos' $150 M Flying Fortress. For billionaires, luxury isn't measured in gold watches or Ferraris, it's measured in miles above the earth. And Jeff Bezos? He doesn't just fly first class, he owns the sky. His prized possession? A Gulfstream G650 ER, a $75 million airborne fortress capable of crossing continents in a single breath. It's the same jet used by Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Saudi royalty, but for Bezos, one isn't enough. He owns two, because when you rule global commerce, waiting isn't an option. Inside, it's not a jet, it's a floating boardroom for the richest man alive. Hand-stitched leather seats, polished mahogany tables, ultra-secure satellite communications, every inch screams power. While most Americans browse Expedia for budget flights, Bezos cruises at 40,000 feet, sipping Dom Perignon and sealing trillion-dollar deals mid-air. A single flight costs more than the average U.S. home, but for Bezos, it's loose change. Here's where it gets controversial. Amazon workers hustle in warehouses, racing against AI-driven quotas for $18 an hour, while Bezos burns more in jet fuel each week than they make in a year. Critics call it exploitation, supporters call it the cost of innovation. Either way, Bezos doesn't look back. His jets keep him ahead of markets, governments, and even time zones. But despite his unmatched dominance, Bezos still isn't the undisputed king of the skies. His rival, Saudi Prince Al-Wali bin Talal, who transformed a Boeing 747 into a flying palace. But with Blue Origin pushing space tourism, Bezos may soon trade air for orbit. Will private jets even matter when the ultra-rich can leave Earth behind? Jeff Bezos' secret plan. Is space the billionaire escape route? While most Americans struggle with skyrocketing rent, crushing debt, and inflation eating away at their paychecks, Jeff Bezos is focused on something far bigger, leaving Earth behind. His space company, Blue Origin, isn't just competing with SpaceX for lunar dominance, it's laying the foundation for a future where billionaires rule the stars while the rest of us fight for survival on a dying planet. The question isn't whether Bezos will succeed, it's who gets to go with him. Unlike the rest of us, Bezos has never worried about mortgages, medical bills, or filling up a gas tank. His childhood dreams weren't about Nike sneakers or the latest PlayStation, they were about NASA, rockets, and life beyond Earth. Today, he's funding his own escape plan. His New Shepard rocket, already ferrying billionaires into space, is just the beginning. His ultimate vision? Massive, rotating space colonies modeled after NASA's O'Neill cylinders, artificial worlds where millions could live in luxury, free from the chaos of Earth. But here's the catch: do you really think there's a ticket waiting for the average American? Meanwhile, down on Earth, Amazon workers race against AI-driven quotas for $18 an hour, their bathroom breaks tracked like data points. While Bezos enjoys a $500 mega yacht, multiple Gulfstream jets, and luxury estates in Beverly Hills, Hawaii, and Manhattan, his employees struggle to afford rent in the very cities his warehouses dominate. And now, with NASA awarding Blue Origin billions to build a new lunar base, Bezos won't just own global commerce, he'll own the moon. First, he conquered e-commerce, then global logistics. Now, he's claiming space itself. Is Jeff Bezos truly a visionary? Or is he building a billionaire lifeboat while the rest of us are left behind? Comment below, is Bezos saving humanity, or just making sure the ultra-rich survive? The $500 super yacht that broke the internet. Wealth isn't just about money, it's about power, control, and bending reality to your will. And Jeff Bezos? He doesn't just buy luxury, he forces the world to accommodate it. Enter Kourou, his $500 million super yacht. A 417-foot floating empire so massive that an entire historic Dutch bridge had to be dismantled just to let it pass. Let that sink in. While millions of Americans struggle with inflation and housing costs, Bezos ordered a city to reshape itself just so he could sail. But Kourou isn't just a yacht, it's a floating kingdom wrapped in polished teak wood, gleaming steel, and secrecy. It features an infinity pool, a private IMAX theater, a full-service spa, and a personal helicopter pad. Below deck, a secret underwater lounge offering panoramic ocean views reserved for the ultra-rich. But the real kicker? It's not even his only yacht. Kourou is so enormous it requires a second $75 M support yacht, complete with its own helipad, crew, and luxury suites. One yacht to live in. One yacht to serve the other yacht. And here's the controversy: while Bezos sips Dom Perignon aboard his Rolex-clad floating palace, his Amazon workers race against AI-driven quotas, barely making $18 an hour. Critics say no one should hold this much wealth while others struggle. Defenders argue that Bezos earned every cent, outthinking and outworking the competition. But let's be real, when one man can command cities to alter themselves for his convenience, what does that say about the system? Yet Bezos isn't stopping at the ocean. With Blue Origin now developing orbital space resorts, Kourou might just be his stepping stone. Today, he rules the seas. Tomorrow, he may control the final frontier. Bezos, the tech visionary or the supervillain. Imagine a future where the richest people never die, where wealth isn't just power, but a ticket to immortality. Jeff Bezos is making that future a reality. While millions of Americans struggle with crippling healthcare costs, rising rent, and stagnant wages, Bezos is quietly investing billions into AI, robotics, and longevity research. He isn't just building businesses, he's reshaping the human experience itself. At the heart of his most secretive projects is Altos Labs, a biotech startup focused on cell regeneration and reversing aging. While everyday Americans scrape by to afford basic healthcare, Bezos is chasing biological immortality, ensuring that the ultra-rich never have to step aside. If wealth already grants influence, imagine what happens when it grants unlimited time. A world where billionaires don't just control economies, they control the future of human life itself. But Bezos' ambition doesn't stop there. His ownership of Amazon, AWS, and Whole Foods has already given him an unprecedented level of control over global commerce and consumer data. His investments in Boston Dynamics robotic guard dogs hint at a world where security, automation, and surveillance all serve the elite. While the average person installs a Ring doorbell, Bezos is securing AI-powered robotic enforcers, turning technology into a private defense system for the billionaire class. And then there's Blue Origin, his obsession with space colonization. Could this be the final piece of the puzzle? A future where Earth is left behind for the wealthy, while the rest of humanity struggles to survive. The clues are everywhere: AI-driven automation, private security, space travel, and life extension. Bezos isn't just preparing for the future, he's making sure he owns it. Is Bezos securing humanity's future, or ensuring that only the rich will survive? Comment below. Jeff Bezos' relentless obsession, why he works like he's broke, even at $150 billion. Most billionaires retire into luxury, buying private islands, collecting Ferraris, or throwing millions at charity to polish their legacy. Not Jeff Bezos. While others slow down, he's up at 5 a.m., devouring strategy books and tracking every second of his day with military precision. Why? Because for Bezos, money isn't the finish line, absolute control is. Even after stepping down as Amazon CEO, Bezos isn't lounging in a Beverly Hills mansion, he's engineering the future. His aerospace company Blue Origin is laying the groundwork for a future where billionaires don't just rule Earth, they own the stars. His deep investments in AI, automation, and robotics through Amazon Web Services, AWS, and Boston Dynamics ensure that the machines never sleep, so neither does his empire. And with Altos Labs, a biotech firm working on reversing aging, Bezos isn't just planning for the next decade, he's plotting for immortality. But here's where the controversy ignites: is this genius or corporate greed on steroids? While Bezos perfects his next trillion-dollar venture, millions of Amazon workers grind through grueling 10-hour warehouse shifts, racing against AI-driven quotas, struggling on $18 an hour. He revolutionized e-commerce, but at what cost? Some call him a visionary who changed the world. Others see him as a ruthless capitalist hoarding power while the working class barely survives. And yet, love him or hate him, one fact is undeniable: Bezos is just getting started. While his competitors relax, he refuses to slow down. With AI, robotics, and space colonization under his command, what's next for the world's richest man? Will he become Earth's first trillionaire, or the ultimate tech overlord who rewrites the rules of life itself? Jeff Bezos isn't just living in luxury, he's designing a world where billionaires never step aside. While Amazon workers hustle for hourly wages, he's investing in AI, automation, and even immortality research. Is he a visionary pushing humanity forward, or a ruthless capitalist securing power for the elite? The future belongs to those who control it, and Bezos is making sure it's his. What do you think? Comment below. If you love mind-blowing billionaire stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We bring you the most shocking, high-stakes, jaw-dropping content every week. You won't want to miss what's coming next.